So, sloka number 161 and 162, Upadesh Sastri. If right knowledge can remove wrong knowledge, can wrong knowledge remove the right knowledge? Right knowledge, right understanding can remove the wrong knowledge and give the self knowledge of the self, Atma, for the mind. Can wrong knowledge override the right knowledge? Is the question. So as we told earlier, the self is always free from any bondage or liberation. Self is Brahman only. Atma is Brahman only. Okay. By teaching, you are consciousness, you are Brahman, you are not the body, mind, and intellect. The wrong identity, the false identity called ego is removed. Ego is a pseudo identity, false. So that is removed. So does ego get benefited of a false entity being removed? Does ego get benefited? Ego is a false entity. I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. That is a pseudo entity. A pseudo entity is created which is actually representing the self, or which is taking the identity of the self. So that is removed. Does that get benefited? No, it was a pseudo entity. Right? Does the self get benefited? No. Then who gets benefited? The false identity is removed. The false identity was cause of suffering. That is removed. Okay. The self was never suffering. Self is always peaceful. There's no benefit for the self by the teaching. The pseudo identity anyway is false. It is removed. The suffering was also a result of false identity, which is also mithya or unreal suffering you are going through. So that is removed. So now the question comes, if right knowledge can remove the wrong knowledge, can the wrong knowledge come back and remove the right knowledge? Can wrong knowledge override the right knowledge? Can I get into trouble again? That is not possible, because right knowledge is given in the form of teaching based on the Upanishads teaching. Okay. So it is given, it is removed the false identity. If wrong knowledge comes and overrides the right knowledge, then what is left? The false identity is gone. The self is the wrong knowledge, it is only vacuum. Nothing is left. Then you'll come back and say nothing is there. Because false identity called ego is removed. Okay. Right knowledge. Now you give a wrong knowledge. So then what is left? Nothing is left. You are left with a vacuum. Okay. But always you have a clarity that I is unchanged. That's your innermost experience. You have always, when you speak of I never changes. While me changes. Your confusion with respect to I and me is only removed. The self and non-self, which is body and mind, intellect, is only removed. In the process, the I, which is ever shining, is not affected. And you know that I doesn't change, because this is your day-to-day experience. 10 years back or somewhere, now I'm here. That I has never changed. But you are superimposing the body, mind, intellect on the self. And any trouble in the world, you are taking it as a personal. In reality, the self is not affected. This is right knowledge. But then you have a question, oh, another wrong knowledge may come and replaced by self knowledge, right knowledge. So if wrong knowledge comes and replaces right knowledge, the ego is gone. Ego is, the wrong understanding is gone. Now if wrong knowledge comes, then what will left? Nothing will be left. Vacuum will be left. But you know, in your deep innermost experience, I has not changed. right? So the vacuum, the wrong knowledge replacing the right knowledge is not justifiable, because your experience of self, I, as unchanging, is never changed. Okay. Wrong knowledge by wrong knowledge by removing the right knowledge can create vacuum, can end up in vacuum. But you know that I exist. You know I am always there. So it can never be replaced. You recognize yourself. It's a direct experience. I has not changed. I doesn't change. Is your direct experience. Only confusion is removed. No amount of wrong knowledge can override your innermost experience that I doesn't change. Are you clear? Not clear.